All right, so there's this guy named Harry Mack who does freestyle rapping on TikTok. He'll like meet with people on Omegle and just like blow their mind.
Give me 3 words.
I want to do a version of that, but I'm just like so bad, and I just keep going and just see how long it goes until people press the skip button.
You should just have like ChatGPT up on your phone, like giving you bars and be like, okay.
Like a cat. I've got. Oh, here we go.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, all right. Give me 3 words, Jordan.
Oh, this is a
Telescope.
Telescope.
Hickory.
Hickory.
No way.
Tanner B. You can never see me when you looking through that telescope. You can see me if you look around and you'll say nope. I cannot see you because I've smoked too much dope. Whoa, 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 whoa. And just like do that for like 30 minutes and just like see how long people go until they just like
everyone
can't put up with it anymore.
Well, this track has about 2.5 minutes left, so.
There's a Little Dicky song called We're Good. And the whole premise is it's just like really bad rapping. But it's just like a song they produced and it's just cringy. And I think that's...
Yeah, how's his music career going?
I don't know.
Exactly. He made a great TV show, though. Shout out Dave.
Shout out to Dave.
Show. Yeah.
He rapped on the radio about fucking Michelle Obama. And
then, brother.
And then his career went downhill.
It's the real America.
That's
Sorry.
That's the real
The real America can admit Michelle Obama's hot without
all know
feeling
it.
weird about it.
We all know it.
She's got some cakes.
I think that should go on a shirt.
I think I'm just going to create a whole, like, other sequence of just, like, Harkisisms. And it's just like, Idaho, you the pimp.
I would pay $15 a month for that.
I think that's our new Patreon segment, folks.
Well, you know what? I think... Do you guys celebrate Thanksgiving? Is that something your family does?
No, I call it Thanksgiving.
We
What's
don't.
what's like the next family holiday you guys got coming up that you would get together for?
We're gonna get together.
Okay,
soon.
all right, super fair.
Yeah.
So the next time you get together as a family, I think you like wait for sort of that like natural lull in conversation whenever it's like a large group, and you just look around and go, "Hey, has anyone seen the new episode of my podcast?"
See, the way I have a bunch of sisters who would just not respond.
Okay.
And then my mom would kind of look up at me, and she'd be like, "What podcast?" But then she'd go back to what she was doing.
All right, how about this? After the show, you're going to give me the phone numbers of all of your family members.
Oh, done.
And I'm going to text them and just say, hey, it really would mean a lot to John if you checked out the most recent episode of Northern Lights. You know, he really wants his family to see it. So to John's family that is listening right now because I texted them, thanks for listening. And thanks for listening this far through.
And I love you.
Yeah.
Please like, subscribe, and comment.
Shout out to my
Helps
folks.
the
Thanks for
algorithm.
listening. We appreciate it. That's where all the downloads come from, you know?
It's your mom just running a fucking...
Mom and my dad.
She's running like a data farm like the Chinese government.
Yeah. Yeah, the Western Metro sure downloads a lot of Northern Lights. It's crazy.
Just terabytes and terabytes. Yeah.
Well, I think we could talk about our families all day, but that's not what you guys subscribe for.
Still can't.
Instead, you guys subscribe for cannabis-related content, or at least content that's
Cannabis related.
yeah. We end every week during this season with our high thoughts, our high notes, our things that we're thinking about as we're smoking, things we're thinking about as we're rolling up a joint, packing a bowl, loading a dab, whatever it is you're doing. What are some of the things that you're thinking about, talking to people? If someone says, hey, how are things going? And you really don't want to talk to them, what would you say?
I would say that, people who are sleeping on the floor cannot fall out of the bed.
That's really insightful.
I think the best way to throw somebody off is to say something stupid, because then it ends the conversation. If you encounter somebody that you don't want to hear them,
Or it leads to
rattle
some
their mouth.
really interesting conversation.
Some of those people love bullshit like that. But don't the people on the street. It's like whenever a random person on the street, it's like they're always down. They're always game to have a long one. But my
Yeah, what's your high thought?
I can't forget. Dude, it's like a kind of scary one. Just like something I'm really thinking about is fucking RFK Jr. I can't. Dude, like, I don't even know. He's going to be like our czar of so many different things. And we will just have to deal with it. So hopefully he doesn't fuck everything up at the FDA. Hopefully he's not what I think he is.
Dude, I watched a webinar.
I don't even know how to say it. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a webinar yesterday that a couple lawyers held that was like, what does this election mean for cannabis? And there was some guy who posted in the comments, well, RFK likes plant medicine, so maybe this is good for legalization.
He wants to tax the hell out
like,
of it.
Oh, buddy.
He would legalize it, but he would legalize it in like I got a worm in my brain kind of way.
Sure. Well, and is the Republican-controlled Senate going to legalize? Perhaps not.
No.
I don't know, man.
They're gonna.
I think they will deregulate legal stuff. I could see the hemp stuff being very deregulated.
RFK Jr.
I got a different high thought. Can I change my high thought?
Yeah. Yours was.
You haven't done your high thought yet, so you can do whatever you want.
Damn. I feel like.
And this is why I say Marcus, who doesn't smoke weed, not that much different than my friend Marcus, who does smoke weed. No. Go ahead. What were you?
I just was thinking about how this year I've encountered like several very aggressive panhandlers, and how like I've been getting aggressive back with them too. Like there was one time I was walking in the Kowalski's, and this woman started like guilt tripping me, like, we need some money. I was like, I need some money too, bitch. And then there was this guy on Hennepin. He shouted in my car like, you got some spare change? I like, no, I don't. And he said, man, don't be lying. I said, man, don't be begging. So it's like, this is the year of clapping back on aggressive panhandlers. Like, because I don't respect that shit.
Can I tell a story?
Yeah.
My roommate from last year, my friend Dylan, was driving home, and he was right by the sculpture garden, and a guy asked him for $1, and he said, sorry, man, I don't have any. And the guy grabbed a cone on the side of the street and busted the back of Dylan's window.
Oh, my God.
And it was like the one day of the year that he was driving his dad's car.
Wow.
It was like, dude.
Man, I mean, people might need to like have super soakers, and
this
shit.
is why we need to work on real work and family policy.
And I think in light of finding that common middle ground America approach, I think we can all say we don't like panhandlers that break our cars,
especially when they
aggressively,
or like the motherfuckers who be using their little babies as props. Like, take them fucking kids out of here.
This is the Trump era of this podcast.
Jeez.
Using their little babies like props.
We got to make Minnesota
Like, you've been out here, like, how many times this month? Are those even your kids?
I'd like to change what I said earlier. The Marcus who doesn't smoke weed, very different than the Marcus who does smoke weed.
Sorry.
Jordan, you haven't shared your opinion on panhandlers. What do you...
Well,
Do you support people breaking cars with cones?
No, of course not.
I don't know. You were sort of quiet for a minute.
Well, no, I was thinking of whether or not to tell this story.
That usually means yes.
And it's not necessarily a panhandler, more of just somebody asking for some help. But the circumstances of the situation were bizarre. I was, at this point, working downtown Minneapolis. This is pre-COVID. And I'm out on my lunch walk. I go and grab a burrito from Chipotle, and I'm walking back to the office, and all of a sudden I hear a scuffle behind me, and then I look behind me, and there's just a man with blood pouring out of his face and head, and I could see. It was the most graphic in real life thing I had ever seen. I could see part of his skull, and he was running my direction. He wasn't running at me, but I was just in his way essentially, and then. So that's not funny, obviously, but then who I believe to be an unhoused man is following him, just making sure he's okay.
Oh, it feels sadistic.
And so then I obviously like, okay, I'm right near a police precinct. This man needs help. I make a call, and I just basically like am reporting exactly where this guy is like slowly trudging. This guy didn't know where he was.
Yeah, he's got.
He didn't know where he was. He was all I think he knew is that he was running away from something, and he was scared. And so this unhoused guy comes and like just follows me, following this guy, and then he, after the police kind of like get to him and like help him sit down and like just we knew that the situation was handled. The guy who had been following me is like, "Hey, that's some crazy shit. What you got in that bag?" And I was like, "It's a burrito." And I just handed
just
it to
take
him.
it.
I was like,
Just
you
take
have
it.
my burrito, man. I hope it.
Don't
fills
even
you up.
want to eat it.
After seeing a human
Yeah, I was
skull,
gonna say like it. You know what? If you can eat.
So not necessarily the same situation, but a bizarre situation.
God, I say this so genuinely, non-ironically. Love living in the city.
That was the one and only crazy moment I've ever seen working and living in Minneapolis. Like,
You guys are learning something new about me, which is that I laugh when I'm uncomfortable. And every time you describe someone breaking their leg, and I just laugh. And it's not because I find it funny. I just need to say
I mean, I
that.
laugh at all the wrong things too, so I can relate.
Okay.
I mean,
But
but when you talked about the burrito, it made me think about how some places there's certain outdoor activities in remote areas where they say you got to bring a burrito bag, which means if you got to take a shit, you got to shit and carry your shit back out. I don't know what type of environment that is, but I was like, I don't want to do that type of outing.
If you like climbing up Machu Picchu, do they make you shit in a bag? Anyone know?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
But they call it like
I
a
don't know where they're
burrito.
doing it. I don't know
They
where
call
they're.
it a burrito because
Okay. A lot of high thoughts.
I'm
today.
gonna have such a hard time editing this episode.
So, Jordan,
Yeah,
what's your high thought this week?
I had it, and now
Now it's
I've
gone.
lost it. So I was hoping something would come to me in the meanwhile, but nothing has. The Golden Bachelorette is getting really, really good lately. For those carrying on
Oh,
with that,
actually,
I
so
gotta
I
check
saw a
it out.
commercial that I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
Men Tell All, Golden Bachelorette. Has that happened yet as of recording?
it happened on Wednesday.
Okay, so Men Tell All and Women Tell All episodes of the Bachelorette and Bachelor series, some of my favorite. It's just people just yelling at each other and gossip and like my favorite parts of the series. Now, this is a bunch of old people. Was it the same? How was it?
It was the entire opposite. It was
I hate that.
It was men tearing up, making each other like tear up from their just brotherly love. It was
I love that.
people expressing
Despise
gratitude.
it.
Was people admitting that they grew and evolved as men just because they were lived in a mansion with other men who empowered them. They like made
Oh
them
my
feel
God.
seen. It was like, it was very, very.
This sounds like my kind of show.
You gotta hop on the Golden Bachelorette.
We need more brotherhood.
I like it for them as people. I wish it on people.
It's not good. TV.
It's terrible TV. It's just
Good TV. New York.
Shout out-
Oshawa Training Arc.
shout out Demon
Slayer. Good TV. Just
Yeah.
came out. New season.
Salt Lake City, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City has been really good this season. Highly recommend that one.
Salt Lake. Is that real?
It is real.
Never gotten into that one.
Oh,
Are they all Mormons?
so good. Half of them are Mormons. Some of them are Jewish. some of them
We've
are just-
talked about this, Tanner.
So actually, so here's the worst part. It's the other Mormon show about
Oh, yeah,
moms
you were
based in
telling
Salt
me
Lake City.
about a
Yeah,
different Mormon
you're
show,
thinking
yeah.
of Mom Talk. Highly recommend people check that out. But no, this is the Real Housewives
I'll
series
cue it up right after the
in
Hot
Salt
Tool
Lake City.
podcast.
Oh, right after Talk Tua.
Talk to her.
Talk Tua.
You know, it's actually clever because if you it's like talk to her. If you get it, talk.
Yeah,
to
no, I think
you
it's
get it. Yeah.
Hillary Clinton said Pokemon Go to the polls as a way to try to to get the kids and it famously is like a cringy statement. Nobody likes it. And I think Kamala Harris should have come out and said, you guys gotta walk to them polls and vote on that thing. But nobody liked that though. They didn't do it.
I don't like that.
If the Hawk Tua girl, whose name I'm forgetting right now, if she would like
Haley something.
there we go. Thank you. If
I
she
know
wants,
it's Haley something.
shout out to Haley something. If she wants to come on the podcast, we'll dab you up. We would love for you to
Dab you.
to I don't know. I don't know how to use this. Marcus doesn't want that.
I mean, I just miss cannabis. So I'm fantasizing about.
Doing dabs with the
Yeah,
hawks to a
like-
girl. This is where it goes up.
Well, yeah.
Doing dips.
Fades to that.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna get a little bit on the soapbox
Oh
here.
my God, Tanner, your face is on your socks. You and your wife.
Oh yeah, I guess we could feature that on the podcast. Yeah, I do have my face and my wife's face right on my socks.
That's pretty gangster.
Do you guys not wear clothing? When
I
you...
saw your wife. I did not see your own face on.
Yeah, I mean, all right.
That's awesome.
So
I
picture
was
this.
like, wife guy
Serious
socks. Makes
styles.
sense.
So picture this. You and the bros, you're all getting together playing Call of Duty, and then you guys just play so well that all your socks fall off. How are you gonna know which are yours?
True.
Well,
It's got your face on it.
no, actually,
And your
these
wife's
came from my wedding, and I got all the groomsmen them, and I continue to wear them like all the time.
As you should.
Socks are socks.
As I should, yeah.
I
love
hope
it.
your friends are still wearing them as well.
Actually, every time I see them, they make a point to and go,
Good.
"Oh, I see you're not wearing them today. Do you not respect the institution of marriage?"
Amen, brother.
Shout out to Aaron. All right, here's my real high thought, though. You guys, this is sort of political, but it's not something that's anything new. I've been saying for a long time we should abolish the Minnesota Senate. And I believe now more than ever, we should switch to a unicameral governmental system here in Minnesota. Now, let me talk about what that is. We have the House of Representatives, we have the Senate. Why? Why do we have two elected bodies to do the exact same job? Nebraska has one. They just have the assembly. It just has the people they elect. They get together, they vote on shit, just like any other legislative branch. The House and the Senate make sense when you're having a compromise. Small states, big states, population. You know, you gotta have all that compared.
Well, what about urban rural? That's what people.
Sure. I could see, maybe some divide around that, but the Minnesota Senate doesn't account for that.
No.
It's all based on population. So, maybe you've got like the House of Lords and the House of Commons, like in the UK. They just serve different functions. Here in Minnesota, the Senate,
function.
House of Representatives, literally the exact same thing. It just costs Minnesota taxpayers twice as much.
And
Do you get better representation?
They just have better shit over
No.
at the Senate too. That's like the thing.
I
is, like,
agree. And so, especially now in this in-between time, where we have a Senate that does have a majority, but the other body doesn't, suddenly grinds our entire government to a halt. I don't see why the House of Representatives not having their shit together should hold up our entire function. People voted, they made their opinion heard, and we've got the DFL majority Senate. The House is only fucked because we have an even number of people. So we every
I know
so
that
often,
was dumb as hell.
so dumb. And it's literally just because we have our Senate and then we double all those districts to 2.
67
Because
times
it's the
2.
exact same as population. If we, like Nebraska, had a single governmental body, we have the governor in charge of that branch, we've got the courts in charge of that branch, and then we've got the elected representatives in charge of that branch, it just makes so much more sense. Back when Paul Gazelka was in charge of the Senate, I was big on the abolish the Senate because I just hated Paul Gazelka. But this
me too.
election
I've
season,
protested outside his office.
yeah, absolutely, long ass drive. But yeah, that was a good protest. And I just feel now more than ever is the time that we need to be revisiting how our government is structured, and we don't need a duplicitous legislative branch. We can have the people we elect just do their fucking
So
job.
would you want 67 or like the 134?
So personally, I think we should keep it closer to the number in the House of Representatives because I like there being less people per representative, but it's got to be an odd number. Like, I hate that we have an even number and that there's no one who's in charge of breaking the tie.
we need to make a
The
district.
Senate in the federal, they have the vice president to break it. Here in Minnesota, we don't have that. There's nobody in charge of breaking ties. It's dumb.
Should there be like a statewide tiebreaker seat established?
No, I think we should just have an odd number of districts.
I
We've
like-
got an
I
odd
like
number of
a
senates.
rotating tiebreaker seat, but it's just like normal guys. You just get like it's a lottery, and you just get it.
Okay.
It's
All right, if we
okay,
did it like a-
Jordan,
yeah,
it's
if
your
we did
week
like
to
jury
go break
duty.
the election.
I
Yeah.
think that could be fun,
That's
where they
Call
just pick a
Jordan
random
in to
citizen.
Flip the coin.
Jordan's like, "What are we voting on?"
Honestly,
It just rolls out of bed. What?
Yeah.
if we trust random ass jurors to decide whether people have broken complicated laws, we can trust them to pass complicated laws as well.
Amen.
So I would that's my high note for this week is once again calling for the abolishment of the Minnesota Senate. saying that we just need smaller government, not in like the conservative way, but just in the like less duplicate, doing the same shit kind of way. We don't have 2 departments of health. We have 1. We can have 1 elected body.
I think it'd be easier to pass legislation.
So much easier.
A lot easier. I mean, this year everything's gonna be like go through the meat grinder that is the House just to go through the fucking Senate for no reason.
Yeah.
So.
And how many times have we had it passed where like the Senate was just like wild off their horse and then passed a bunch of crazy bills that thankfully the House was there to check? Never. That's never happened. That is not the system that we need. Abolish the Senate.
Okay.
Why not?
So go to the website, abolishthesenate.com. I don't know
not
that domain. Don't go there.
Hey, I learned how to make turkey bacon crispy recently.
Ooh, all right.
You just had to have some oil.
Oh.
What were
in the
you
pan.
using? What were you using before?
I was just heating it up without the oil.
Dude.
Not enough fat in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not greasy, you know. Yeah.
I'm like, damn, this solves a problem I've had for years because I don't eat pork.
Getting like a good butter
Wow.
in there.
Crispy turkey bacon is such a game changer.
We got to bring Clem in to do another cooking with Clem, but then just make like non-infused food. Like we'll just ask him to just make regular food.
It's just like, can you feed us today?
Yeah, just cooking with Clem.
We'll
Thanks
get
for
high
making
and
us
you
dinner.
cook.
This dinner brought to you by Doc
Yeah.
Tabs.
Yeah. I think that would be a good segment. I think he'd be down. Actually, Clem is coming on in a couple of months. We're excited to have him back on, and who knows? Maybe we'll do some cooking in the studio.
I don't know about HVAC.
I don't know either.
We'll get a fan going.
Yeah.
Well,
Funky
or
cold
worst case
Medina.
scenario, we just
No.
Grill out.
Grill.
Yeah, I was
we'll
thinking
just
of a grill.
do it live.
Grill live stream. It's like 4 hours of us drinking beer and grilling.
Just standing around like the 4 dudes from
For fucking
like,
King of the Hill.
King of the
Yeah.
Hill.
All right. Well, here's the question I want us
Occasionally someone
to
rolls a joint.
end with this week. It's a tough week. Not gonna lie. What is one thing that you guys do for self-care? Something you do to help yourself relax, unwind, that you just enjoy doing. You know, what's your like guilty pleasure? I need just to end my day with a positive note. What's your high note, if you will?
I mean, I smoke weed and I read books, Tanner.
There we go. Hey, I'm all about that one. I love that. What is your go-to, Marcus? You got a bad day, you come home. What is your thing to make it better? All right. Marcus
Okay.
likes clapping. Jordan, what's your go-to thing?
Walks with the dog. It's
I like
just-
that.
you just it's the simple time to. I think I've mentioned I don't touch my phone. Like I have it with me in case I get attacked or something. But yeah, it's just dog walks. It's good for her. Good for me.
What about
Yeah.
you, Tanner?
I've just been doing a lot of baking, which like is delicious, but
What have you been making?
it's gonna be a problem soon. The most recent thing that I made is some pumpkin cookies with a little bit of ginger, nutmeg, and then vanilla icing right on the top with some delicious buttercream.
Look at you.
It's good. And I made some that have 25 milligrams in each cookie.
God.
And those are pretty good too.
Golly gee
That
whiz.
sounds nice.
I love a good bonfire though.
Yeah. And then maybe that's another thing that we should be focusing on is, really getting our headspace in the right headspace.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys have something that you do for self-care aside from, smoking weed, which is
Or
a
clapping.
pretty good one, or clapping, post it in the comments below. We always love to hear from you guys. And if you've got questions you want us to bring on the show, Marcus will answer them with his usual sense of seriousness and wonderful sense of joy. Style.
Hey.
The real.
Well, you can find us on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky. Not yet, but after this week, definitely something we should consider. And we'll be back in your feeds next week. Definitely subscribe on YouTube. We're dropping videos there basically on the daily now, so you can catch up with us, see what's going on in our lives. We got new segments, and we're doing lots of hanging out around here at the Dabbler Depot studio. So stop on by here, Payne Avenue. They've got a bunch of other locations as well. 2 other locations. Jordan, where could people find if they want to go to the Dabbler Depot?
Excellent question, Tanner. I'm glad you asked. You can find Dollar Depot Liquor Store and THC on West 7th in St. Paul, right across from Mississippi Co-op.
1545.
1545.
Look for the big old donut.
Look for a big donut out front.
Yeah.
Big old donut. You can't eat it though. Then obviously we were sitting in
Who tried?
A lot of plaster.
Payne Avenue, 951.
951 Payne Avenue on the east side of St. Paul is where you can come and get all of your home growing needs, your dirt, your lights, your seeds,
Or just come hang out.
or just come hang out with us.
Dirt
Friday.
McGray.
And then our South Minneapolis location, right on 28th.
Yeah.
By,
28th
what's it
Avenue
called?
South
Baker's
and
Wife.
42nd
Baker's
Street.
wife, yeah.
Baker's
Dude,
Wife,
gotta stop in, grab a Danish, go to Dabbler Depot.
And who knows? What's fun is like you watch TV and none of those people are actually real. But you watch the Northern Lights podcast, you stop by the Dabbler Depot, and you might run into one of us. It's pretty cool.
Real.
Yeah, we are real. That's. Could you
mean,
imagine?
Jordan's
We've been-
behind the
Yeah,
camera,
We're not
so
AI yet.
Look at my hands; they're real. I promise.
I do want a hologram though. I want to be able to like project myself.
Marcus Harcus hologram.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Share Northern Lights with your friend. Drop a comment below, and we'll be back in your feed next week. See you later, y'all. Stay safe out there.
Peace.
Northern Lights is a Minnesota Cannabis College production. This episode was produced by me, Tanner Barris, and by Steve Eigenman and Jordan Whiff. Production assistance from Marcus Harcus, Shayna Payton, and John Bartee. Video and audio recording at the Dabbler Depot studio by Jordan Whiff. The information provided in this podcast does not, and is not intended to, constitute legal advice, but is instead for general information purposes only. No listener should act solely on the basis of information provided without first seeking advice from their own legal counsel. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Minnesota Cannabis College. Please listen responsibly.